Live from the KHOU 11 studios and streaming on KHOU 11 Plus, your news starts now.
That's right, we're starting right now, and thanks so much for joining us on this digital newscast. I'm Trayson Bragg. We're streaming live now on KHOU 11 Plus. Right now, Houston police are investigating a shooting in the Alief area. This happening at the Ashford Court apartment complex near the West Park Tollway and Dairy Ashford Drive. And listen to this. The shooting caused an SUV to crash into an apartment building. Our Troy Claus is live out there on the scene right now with the very latest. Hey, Troy.
Hey, Trayson, we just actually learned from Houston police within the last 30 minutes that the driver was taken to the hospital in critical condition right now. But we were told that he was driving along here when he was shot, and he actually crashed through that fence and into an apartment unit building on the other side. Now, the crime scene unit you can see to my left just arrived here within the past 15 minutes or so, as we're still trying to investigate what exactly happened. So according to HPD, a person driving the SUV was shot and crashed through the fence into the back of a residence. That driver, again, was taken to the hospital. And while out here, we spoke with witnesses and neighbors who tell us that they heard about 5 gunshots after some kind of altercation took place. So we spoke with a man who says he found the victim before they were taken to the hospital.
Look, I gotta say something. This youngster just got shot in the back of the head, and I was the first to witness it. And I tried to, they wanted me to pull him out, and I couldn't pull him out. I did everything I could to save his life. His brothers were there, they were screaming. I tried to calm him down.
And back out here live, we are still seeing police are investigating right now, and it's possible that the people that were inside the vehicle were being detained for questioning. Now, speaking with police, what they did tell us is that it was a male suspect who ran away from the scene. So anyone who lives in this area is asked to contact HPD, and we'll bring you the full story tonight at 10. Reporting live in Alief, Troy Claus, KHOU 11 News.
Wow, Troy, thank you so much for that story. All right, shifting gears now to the weather. Several storms made their way across Houston today. This was what things looked like outside our station just a couple of hours ago, plus a glimpse of some of the ponding left behind on the streets. This shot is from off the North Freeway at Tidwell. Pat, now that the storms are behind us, colder air is coming in. What can we expect for tomorrow morning?
Yeah, it was a gorgeous sunset for a lot of us. In fact, it's underway right now. Live look here from St. Thomas High School and Rice Military. There's Williams Tower all the way in the distance as the sun goes down behind it. We made it to 78 degrees today. You can kiss the 70s goodbye. You can kiss the 60s goodbye. We will be stuck in the 40s and 30s as we go through the rest of the upcoming week. But it wasn't just Houston that had warm temperatures today. Galveston set a record high temperature of 76 degrees. That beats the old record of 74. which makes it a 145-year-old record broken today, since that record goes all the way back to 1880. So a very long-standing record high temperature today in Galveston shattered today with that warmth coming in ahead of the cold front. That's through now, and so we are expecting temperatures to plummet. We are going to see a freeze tonight for a good part of the area. It stays very cold as we go through the upcoming week, and so of course that begs the question, do we get to see any wintry weather as long as that cold air is in place? We'll have the latest forecast on that in just a minute. First tonight, though, again, freeze warning in effect for the entire area. That goes through 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Live look at radar right now. You can see those storms now racing offshore. The last batch of them just clearing Galveston Island here within the next few minutes. You can see still some rain happening along Seawall Boulevard. Once these are gone, though, your skies will clear in about 30 minutes and the temperatures drop big time. Down through coastal Brazoria and Matagorda County, more of the same. We only had one severe warning, no damage reports or anything across the area today, but what a dynamic storm system. Huge winter storm here across the middle part of the country, extending all the way out towards Washington, D.C. They could see a foot of snow tonight into tomorrow morning, and then severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings down through Mississippi and Louisiana. Here's a look at current temperatures. 62 in Houston, already 37 in the Metroplex, and look at the cold air that is waiting for us going farther north. 1 degree in Ainsworth, up in Nebraska, 16 for Omaha, 21 Oklahoma City, 27 in Amarillo. That cold air will punch south as we go through the overnight. So we go from a high today of 78 degrees down to 30 degrees Monday morning. And you may look at that and say, well, 30 degrees really isn't too bad. Well, if you've been outside lately, you notice the wind has started to pick up. We're going to see wind gusts this evening between 30 and 40 miles per hour in some of the most extreme cases. That wind will continue as we get into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon as well, holding those gusts in the 20 to 25 mile per hour range, which means it will make temperatures feel like the 50s this evening and then eventually more like the teens getting into tomorrow morning. Feels like 18 in Livingston tomorrow morning. Feels like 19 in Columbus, 21 for Houston. Feels like 23 degrees Monday morning in Galveston. So we do have a time period where we have a weather impact alert for tomorrow morning with bitter wind chills. That'll be from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. And this is where if you're outside for long enough, you're not properly dressed, you could experience hypothermia. So this is the time frame that we're talking about with those morning wind chills dropping into the 20s and teens. That weather impact alert goes till 10 a.m. and then we pop back with feels like temperatures in the 30s, actual air temperatures in the 40s tomorrow. 46 your high temperature tomorrow afternoon. We'll get close to 50 then on Tuesday. But look at this, another dip here Wednesday and Thursday, and that could coincide maybe with some wintry weather. Here's the latest future track for later on this week. We stop the clock Thursday morning. It's rain for us in the green here in Houston. Ice, though, from Lufkin back through Dallas, potentially into the hill country as well, and then snow for the high plains. As this fills in, there's a really well-defined rain and snow line here across the state. So right now it looks like a really cold rain for Thursday afternoon. Snow for the Metroplex back into North and Central and West Texas. And then somewhere in between we'll see icy conditions, hill country along I-35. As we get to Thursday night and Friday, still looks like snow stays across North Texas. Rain for us here in Houston. And then eventually getting into Friday, things start to improve. That was the European model. American model has a similar solution, a very cold, rainy day for us here in Houston with snow farther north. There's the comparison to the European model. Very good agreement with both models, which means forecast confidence is starting to increase. Tonight, 30 in Edo, Montrose, the Heights, 29 for Woodgate, same for Dyersdale and Copperfield, 30 for Maikawa, and 29 in Alameda. Feels like 15 to 20 degrees. Actual air temperature in Tomball, 26, 28 for Tascasita, 30 for Olcott, and downtown we'll do 26 for Brenham, Navasota, Huntsville here, 25, 24 in Livingston, 33 down in Galveston. And then for tomorrow, it's decorative sunshine. It doesn't do anything to warm us up. High temperatures in the low to mid 40s everywhere, and with the wind, it feels more like the 30s through the afternoon. There's your 7-day forecast, so a brisk winter-like week coming up. High temperatures 30s and 40s, overnight temperatures in the 30s with 20s outside the city. Again, keeping an eye on Thursday. Right now it looks like rain for us here in southeast Texas, but a wintry mix as you go farther north. Rest of the week, though, into the weekend, we do warm things back into the 50s by Saturday and Sunday. Trayson?
Some cold temps there. Thanks so much, Pat. Now, you do still have a couple of hours to make those final preparations of your own before the cold front arrives. Here's a quick reminder of the 4 P's to keep in mind. I'm talking about people, pets, plants, and pipes. First, make sure that you dress in warm layers, and also check on your neighbors when the temperatures drop. Bring pets indoors or make sure they have a warm place to sleep. Leaving them out in the cold is against the law here in Texas. And bring in plants or cover outdoor plants to protect them from the frost. When it comes to your house, experts aren't expecting a hard freeze, but it doesn't hurt to protect your pipes with insulation. That's to prevent them from cracking. All right, plus a very important reminder tonight about using your space heaters safely. You want to make sure that you keep them at least 3 feet away from anything flammable like curtains or furniture. Always plug them directly into the wall, never an extension cord, and never leave them unattended, especially when you go to bed. And most importantly, make sure you have working smoke detectors, especially in every bedroom. And make sure to download the KHOU 11 mobile app so you can be the first to know when severe weather heads our way. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download and turn on push notifications. Tonight, the FBI is sharing new details about the attacker who killed 14 people in New Orleans on New Year's Day. Officials say they're investigating trips he took to Egypt in 2023 and whether he had outside help plotting his attack. Bradley Blackburn has more.
New video suggests the attack in New Orleans New Year's Day could have been even more deadly. The FBI says security cameras show the attacker placing multiple improvised explosive devices around Bourbon Street early New Year's Day that did not detonate because of a mistake he made in assembly.
He didn't use the correct device to set it off, and that is just indicative of his inexperience and lack of understanding.
Officials say what unfolded when he rammed his truck into victims, killing 14, was an act of terrorism. The attacker, Shamsuddin Jabbar, had proclaimed support for ISIS. And while the FBI still believes he acted alone, they are investigating trips he took to Egypt and Canada in 2023 and 2 previous visits to New Orleans. They say in October 2024, he used Meta smart glasses with embedded cameras to record these videos of Bourbon Street plotting his attack.
We have not seen any indications of an accomplice in the United States, but we are still looking into potential associates in the U.S. and outside of our borders.
Saturday night in the French Quarter, crowds gathered for a vigil with moments of silence and music distinct to the city. The family of one of those killed, Terrence Kennedy, spoke to CBS News.
My brother was a jolly person. My brother wasn't no violent person. You know, for somebody to just take his life away.
Louisiana's governor has ordered a day of mourning for each of the victims beginning Monday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Oh, still such an intense tragedy. All right, Bradley, thank you. And online right now, you can learn more about the victims and everything we have on the investigation into the attack. It's all on KHOU.com. All right, new tonight, a man is dead and another man is in critical condition after shots were fired at an apartment complex in East Harris County. The shots rang out just after 10 this morning on Garber Lane, located in a subdivision north of I-10 and west of Beltway 8. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says after being shot, the 2 men were taken to different hospitals. One was later pronounced dead. Several people were detained at the scene and taken in for questioning, but so far no arrests have been made. Right now, investigators are working to find out what led up to the shooting and the relationship between the 2 men. This evening, police are investigating an overnight shooting that happened along Houston's popular Washington Avenue corridor. They say the victim was found in a food truck parking lot near TC Jester Boulevard in critical condition. The shooter is still on the run. Our Michelle Troy has the story.
Houston police say the shooting happened just before 3 this morning. When officers arrived, they found a man at this food truck park located off Washington Avenue, shot in the chest. It's unclear if the victim was grabbing something to eat at the time or if he had just left a nearby bar. But police believe this all started with an argument between the victim and another man.
The victim kept telling him to leave him alone, and at that point, the suspect took out a weapon, some sort of a firearm, and shot him in the chest one time.
The victim, they say, was rushed to a nearby hospital in critical condition. The shooter took off. We're told officers quickly set up a perimeter a few blocks away here along Lillian Street, where they believed he may have fled but didn't find him. It's the latest gun violence here along Washington Avenue that's leaving residents like Christina Rodriguez feeling unsettled.
For the people that actually live in the area, it's, it is alarming because we walk our dogs, we are in the neighborhood all the time, so hearing that something like that happens so close, it's not comforting.
This comes just weeks after Houston Mayor John Whitmire and Houston area law enforcement launched a joint initiative to crack down on crime along the Washington Avenue corridor, an area known for its nightlife with bars and clubs, but in recent years has become a hotspot for crime.
I think everybody wants to come and have a good time, but the point is to be able to go home and talk about it the next day.
Anthony Vessel has lived near Washington Avenue for more than 5 years.
My wife and I, we don't go out to Washington that much for nightlife. It can be rowdy.
Gun violence, drunk driving, drag racing, and excessive noise are just some of the long list of problems the mayor promised to address. Last month's initiative resulting in dozens of arrests, residents now hope the safety initiative continues.
I support the mayor trying to make the city more safe, and hopefully those efforts can continue into, bringing about some good change around here.
As for this latest shooting, police have not yet released details about the shooter. They're now asking anyone with information to contact HPD or Houston Crime Stoppers. In Houston, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Michelle, thank you. Turning now to some other top stories we're following this evening. This morning, Poncho Claus wrapped up his final cruise of the season. The Houston legend made his rounds to celebrate Dia de los Reyes, a holiday honoring the three wise men who brought gifts to baby Jesus. This year's holiday season was a bit different for Richard Reyes, as he took a step back from many of the festivities after undergoing heart surgery.
All the other seasons I have a band, we perform a play, we do appearances, we do parades. This year I had 4 operations, including open heart surgery, install a pacemaker, so I did nothing. I was just recuperating, and I just came out for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and today.
But he is back now. Poncho Claus says he's already looking ahead to his 45th anniversary next Christmas and is excited to serve even more families. We love him and we love what he does. All right, a Texas favorite is turning 75. I'm talking about Whataburger. To celebrate, the Texas staple is returning to its roots and bringing back OG menu items. The fast food chain announced the return of the Monterey Melt and the chicken fajita taco, the kickoff for the anniversary festivities, of course. And Whataburger is also adding some new drink options for 2025, including Mexican hot chocolate coffee and Mexican hot chocolate shake. And some of Hollywood's biggest stars are gearing up for a big night on the red carpet. The Golden Globes recognizes film and TV excellence in over 20 categories. This year's awards are being hosted by comedian Nikki Glazer. You can catch it all tonight at 7, of course, on your favorite station, KHOU 11. All right, that's it for us for now, but we'll have a lot more tonight. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you all back here on TV at 10.